Welcome to the Avail Leadership Podcast, where our goal is to help you take your leadership to the next level. My name is Virgil Sierra, and today we're joining Nicole Crank to talk about a key area for all leaders, goals. But as Nicole's new book explains, we don't just want to be goal setters, we want to learn how to become goal getters. What are the keys to actually accomplishing our goals? We'll touch on these keys in this episode. Let's get started. My name is Virgil Sierra. I am the Avail Media host. I'm also lead pastor of Vertical Church, aka Iglesia Vertical, where we are one church, two languages. And I'm pumped because today we are actually going to be talking with Pastor Nicole Crank, who wrote this book here, Goal Getters, 5 Steps to Finally Getting What You Want. Today's time is going to be enriching. It's going to be empowering. It's going to be challenging. As Pastor Nicole says, she is there to be a coach. She's also there to be a cheerleader. There's a whole journey. There's a whole experience. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, connected to the whole Goal Setters book. It's not just the book. There's a lot more. You got to wait to hear that offer that's coming up a little bit later. It's going to be an incredible time together. So let's get to it. This is our opportunity to connect with the woman of the hour. She is a pastor. She is a leader. She is a woman who's got a lot of God vision, God dreams, God goals in her heart. And today we have the privilege to get to talk to the author of Goal Getters, Pastor Nicole Crank. Pastor Nicole, we are so honored to be here connected with you. How are you feeling today for this live webinar?
Hey guys, how is everybody today? I love seeing that you're here. I love that you guys are logging on. I love seeing where you're from. So if you're joining late, who are you? Where are you from? Because we love knowing who we're talking to. And I'm really excited to hear the questions that you have. And if you haven't already, hit up social with a little boomerang or something, telling people where to go and how to get there. Go ahead. If you check my social, we are already there talking about it. And that way I can connect with you on social too. So is that Dr. Dave Martin? Oh, no, that is that's my sassy friend. But today we're going to talk about not just setting goals, because a lot of people goal set, and that's kind of like a really wide definition, but we're not talking about goal setting. We're talking about goal getting, because it's time to finally live in that space. And so I wrote a book this year in COVID that I fought with God about. It's called Goal Getters. It's the 5 simple steps to finally getting what you want. If you're in chat right now, and if there are things that you want in life, say me. Let me just see the me's coming up in the chat. If there are things that you want in life that you do not yet have, say me in the chat. And I wrote this book. It was supposed to release this year, and I didn't want to do it, Virgil. So I didn't ask God. I told God. I said, hey, God, look, it's COVID, all the things. Nobody's thinking about goal setting. They're thinking about surviving. What do I do now? So I'm not going to release this book this year. And what I love about God is that, he doesn't always hear what you're saying. He just keeps on with the plan. And he's like, he didn't even listen to what I said. And he just said, I need you to get my children dreaming again. And I knew right then my proverbial behind had gotten in trouble because I didn't ask, I told. And that's one of the things when you're getting ready to goal set, because goal setting only takes 3 minutes, but getting prepared. And if you're a note taker, you might want to put this in your note. Every moment that you spend planning, every minute that you spend in preparation yields a 10-minute result when it comes to execution.
Wow.
So basically, if you want a 10 times return on investment on your time, spend 1 minute, because that's what a lot of us think, Virgil, is we don't have time to plan our life.
Right.
We don't have time to plan our goals. I want to do that, but I don't have time for that. We really don't have time not to, because every 1 minute saves us 10.
That's so good. I think one of the things that everybody who's connected on this call or connected on Facebook Live right now, I think one thing that we really are going to get out of this, Pastor Nicole, is just understanding that this is possible, but you really got to dive in. And that's what I love about everything I've been learning about your book and all the other things that come along with the book. We're going to talk about that a little later. And I know that this is something that God placed on your heart. let me go into a question. And by the way, everybody who's connected, if you have a question for Nicole today, you can use the Q&A tab on the Zoom call, right? We have some of our staff taking a look at Facebook as well, but we're going to try to get to some of your questions as well. Here's my first question, Pastor Nicole, because this is a lot of material and we want to get as much as we can here. What's the number one mistake that you see leaders make most often when they're dreaming or when they're attempting to pursue their goals? What would you say?
Well, by far the number one mistake, Virgil, between quote unquote setting goals and getting goals is we talk about goals maybe with our mouth. We dream for a minute. We say that it's a goal, but we never write it down. Here's a staggering statistic. 97% of people never write down their goals.
Wow.
So in order to get into the top 3% of people today, you can do it this easily. Write down your goals. Now, I'll tell you, writing your goals is a 5-step process. And there's a lot that has to happen to write your goals and to get your goals. But I'm also here to tell you, each step is super simple. None of this is hard. You just follow it baby step by baby step by baby step. And in 12 months, you'll have to introduce yourself to yourself because so much in your life has changed. So the number one mistake that people make is they don't write down their goals. So you have to write down your goals and you have to write them down in a certain way. And I can walk us through that process in a little bit. Dr. Gail Matthews did a study and she said after the study, you are 42% more likely to get your goals simply by writing them down.
Wow.
And I can tell you a little bit later too, I can tell you what the second biggest mistake is. And that second biggest mistake can make you 1000% more likely to achieve your goals once you have written them down.
Wow. So what you're saying, Pastor Nicole, is just writing down your goals literally will put you in the top 3% of people right now in love leaders. This is important because it's one thing when you know information, but then it's another thing when you put into action. Okay. So you're talking about it's attainable. It's right there. It's possible for anybody, but just for some reason, why do you think like what's the obstacle? What's the blockage there for people to write down their goals?
The psychology will tell you. So this book is a combination of the Bible because God is the motivational OG, right? His whole book, motivation, encouragement, and hope. So number one, it's biblical. Number two, it's scientific. And number three, it's psychological. So using the premises of neurogenesis and neuroplasticity to train our brain, but then talking about the why. People do things for two reasons. They do them for pleasure and they do them for pain. What's attached to that? Well, attached to pain is fear. The number one reason why people don't write their goals down is they're afraid. There is a fear that they will not complete the goal. And by simply not writing the goal down, they feel like, okay, I never wrote it down, so it wasn't real, so I won't fail. And really, I would say that it's the enemy that's sitting on their shoulder saying, I want to hold you back from your calling. I want to hold you back from your purpose. I want to hold you back from the success, the greater one that is on the inside of you that is trying so hard to get out. I want to hold you back from all of that. All I got to do is get you to not write it down. Because I've got that, I know that. And actually we don't got it, we don't know it. We write our goals, which puts us in the top 3%. We write our goals, which makes us 42% more likely. But then I walk through a 30-day process using neurogenesis and neuroplasticity to internalize our goals. So within 30 days, you will know, you'll be able to rattle off all 10 of your goals at any particular moment because they are so internalized. And what does that do, Virgil? What that does is it programs the subconscious of your brain to be moving towards your dreams and goals, not only when you're awake, also when you're sleeping.
You know, this is good. And I think I really agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of people hesitate to even write down a goal because they think, wait a second. I don't want to set myself up to fail again. And it's kind of like a negative mentality, right? It's kind of like, I tried this before. What would you say? Because there's probably people that might say, hey, I've tried this before, Nicole. I've tried writing it down before. What tells me it's going to work this time? I think that's part of what the whole book is, right?
Yeah. So if you've written down your goals before and you didn't reach your goals, I want you to go ahead and say me right now. Go ahead and say me in comments right now if you've written down goals before. And this is why, Virgil, a lot of times we give people a recipe, but we don't even check in to see if they have the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this
Yeah.
isn't the recipe. This walks you through all the ingredients and all of the process. So let me give you the 30-second version, 60-second version of writing your goals. We spend the first 2 chapters in the book preparing you to write your goals. But then we say you can only write your goals in 3 minutes or less. Why? Well, a scientific study will show you, this is based on science, right? Science, psychology, and the Bible. Science will tell you, doing studies, that if you spend more than 3 minutes writing only 7 to 10 goals. So let's say why 3 minutes, why 7 to 10? If we spend more than 3 minutes, that same devil on our shoulder that tells us, don't bother writing it down, you've got this, will also talk us out of dreaming big.
Mm-hmm.
If the brain goes for longer than 3 minutes, it starts to doubt. So if you have to write down 7 to 10 goals in 3 minutes, you don't have time to doubt. So you can actually dream big. And here's the amazing thing about dreaming big, Virgil. When people dream big and follow this process, they have a tendency to get their goals 1,000% more likely. Scientific study. And I'll tell you about that in a minute, because that's from step number 3. But you write down your goals in less than 3 minutes. You do 7 to 10 goals. Why? A man who chases many rabbits loses them all.
Mm.
So I understand you want 7 to 10 spiritual goals and 7 to 10 goals for your marriage and 7 to 10 goals for your kids and 7 to 10 goals for your fitness and 7 to 10 goals for your, eating and 7 to 10 goals for your money and 7 to 10 goals for your vacation. But if you wrote a multi-dimensional, maybe you do one spiritual, one health, one financial, one dream. What are the 7 to 10 things that are the most important to you? And within a 12-month period, it is within us to be able to reach those 7 to 10 goals. So less than 3 minutes, 7 to 10 goals, and you can't type it on your phone. You're going to have to use
Oh, wow.
the kinesiology that is involved. We do a lot of pen and paper in this book, which is why in the book, in the productivity bundle especially, I include worksheets, I include tools and resources. Writing with pen and paper actually puts it deeper into the brain, especially if you are listening, if you're being an audio visual, if you are watching and listening while you're engaging kinesiology, the physical muscles used in writing, it will plant your dreams and goals 70% deeper into the subconscious of your brain than if you typed them on a computer. So 3 minutes or less, 7 to 10 goals, writing them on pen and paper. Then we're going to make them specific, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We can't say, I want to lose weight. Here's the subconscious, here's the psychological problem with that. If you say, I want to lose weight, the brain goes, okay, we have a goal. We're going to lose weight. We're moving towards it. You step on the scale, you lose 1 pound. Your brain physically closes the loop and it thinks we are complete. We can do whatever we want to again. When most of us, okay, if you want to lose more than 1 pound, go ahead. You don't have to tell me how many pounds you want to lose, but just say, okay, in the chat right now. If you're like, I want to lose more than 1 pound. And I just want to tell you, my okay is out there right now. So we have to tell our brain specifically what we want it to do, because there's a part of the brain called a reticular activating system. And that part of our brain does not know when we are telling the truth, when we are lying, and when we are joking. All it knows is that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And what it hears us say, it goes about trying to make come to be. So we have to be very specific so the brain doesn't close the loop and make it harder for us. Like, why is this so hard for me? Because your brain's actually working against you because it thinks it's already completed the task. And then the last one is you have to write it in the present or past tense. And I get more specific and tell you really how to do that before we turn you loose on the 3 minutes so that you really have a clear vision of where you want to go.
Yeah, it sounds like in the book, you really kind of guide people step by step, right? Like people don't have to feel like I'm not going to get it. It's going to be clear, right?
Very clear, very clear. That's the goal, is clarity. And why? Clarity of vision. If somebody's a note taker and you want to put this in the chat for us, clarity of vision is clarity of life. Mm-hmm. The Bible says without a vision, people perish. You can be going 100 miles an hour, Virgil, but if you don't know where you're going, right? Yep. One time we were on vacation and we were driving a motorhome and my husband got tired. And while we were driving, He said, Nick, come over here and drive this motorhome. And I said, I don't know how. And he literally put it on cruise control and got up and walked away. So I jump in. This was before GPS. I had an idea. I thought we were going like to Atlanta, through Atlanta, to head home from Florida to St. Louis. And here I am driving, and I'm so proud of myself. And he comes back about 2.5 hours later. He's refreshed. And he's like, where are we at? He's looking around. I said, we're in Atlanta. He's like, Nick, we weren't supposed to go to Atlanta. We were supposed to go by Atlanta. You just wasted an hour of time and an hour back. I had an idea of where I was going, but I didn't have a clear vision. So I wasted a lot of time.
So good. Hey, I want to just take a moment here and pause. We are here with Pastor Nicole Crank, her new book, Goal Getters, 5 Steps to Finally Getting What You Want. We're going to tell you in a little bit how you can get this. Some of you are going to be able to get it for free. Some of you are going to be able to get it at this kind of price, just depending on a few things. We're going to tell you more about that. And we're going to share with you the productivity bundle and what all that includes. But in the meantime, let's keep going here, Pastor Nicole. This is good. This is good. I have another question. And here's a question I want to jump into now. One of the steps that you talk about in Goal Getters has to do with celebrating, right? You celebrate. Yeah. What's the significance of this? And why do you think that sometimes leaders neglect this aspect of celebrating along the journey?
Well, step number 5 is called get rewards. Mm-hmm. And the body is programmed to get physiologically excited. Endorphins are released whenever we accomplish a task. The problem is some of your dreams and goals are supposed to be big, right? We are intentional. You are writing these things within 3 minutes, so they are really big. Maybe you're trying to generate $1 million of revenue this year. Maybe you're trying to lose 50 pounds. Maybe you're trying to do a big goal, and I want to encourage you to do that. But somewhere around pound number 11, it's going to get old, right? That's why step number 4 is all about the immense value of simply not quitting. It's called get results. But honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all, it's all about commitment. It's hard to be committed if there's no reward for that commitment. One of the rewards in marriage, right, is, hey, we have this physical intimacy. There's this reward for this commitment in marriage, and it makes it a lot easier to stay married when you're getting the rewards of being married, right? Well, the brain works that way for everything. So if you want to lose 50 pounds, this is going to talk about the value of a cheat day. Basically, blowing your diet is going to help you lose weight. And if we don't ever blow our diet, what's going to happen is the Bible says in Galatians 6:9, we're going to get weary in well-doing. Like, I'm doing this day in, day out. I'm not spending any money to get out of debt, and I'm not eating any food to get skinny. And, and we're going to talk about all the things we don't have. And now we've programmed our brain to think in a negative mind. Now, all we have to do is think negatively like that for 21 days. And we have trained our brain to think negatively on autopilot. So we have to have rewards days, at least within every 21 days, so that we can release endorphins, we can get proud of ourselves, we can get excited, we can party. And so I really help you plan those rewards so that you stay motivated, so you don't get part of the vision, you don't get part of the dream, you get the whole cotton picking dream.
I like it. So, okay, so in Goal Setters, it's 5 steps. Now, here's kind of a personal question. You're the author, right? You're the one who put this out of your heart, into this book. Which of the 5 steps that you talk about would you say maybe you've struggled with the most in the past? And how have you seen progress on your journey?
I have struggled probably with different steps at different times. And I meant to bring my vision board, and I forgot to bring it with me. But what I'll do is I will post it on my social media as soon as I get back to my office. We're in one of our studios right now. So what I'll do is I'll post it on my Instagram story, and I'll post it on my Facebook story as soon as I get back to my office. But I have a vision board. That's one of the places I've failed before, is after we set our goals, after we've internalized our goals, you need a really clear picture. You know what? We need such a clear picture. I don't have to go back to my office. I have 2 offices. I have one in St. Louis. I have one in Florida. And on the wall in both of those offices is a vision board since last year. And here's what I'm here to tell you. You got to dream some wild dreams. Well, I'm looking on my phone because I also have some of my vision pictures on my phone, because every now and then I'll put that right on my screensaver. and think, how do I pull this one into being? And I'm looking for a specific picture because one of my wild and crazy dreams is for Oprah Winfrey to interview me. And so they told me, hey, Nicole, Oprah, that's old, that's over. You need to get an updated dream. Well, maybe I need to get an updated dream. Maybe I don't. But here's what I can tell you. Last week, I was on the OWN network on a TV show. So it might not look exactly like my dream, but I know Oprah watches her network. And maybe that's an outdated dream, but it's still my dream. And I have a picture. I'm trying to scroll and talk at the same time. So maybe I'll go ahead and post that on my social media too. But even on my phone, I have a picture of me sitting down on the set of what used to be Super Soul Sunday. And Oprah is interviewing me. And it's a picture so clear, even you can see it. And the reason I have that picture is I need to be able to see it as if it's real. So real that my brain actually believes it, that my heart actually believes it, that my faith actually believes it. And when we put that stuff out there and we post it around where we can see it, then it makes it easy to believe. So we have to have a vision so clear we can actually see it. And sometimes I've been guilty of not taking the time to make that clear vision for my eyes to see.
Mm. No, I like one of the things I like, Nicole, is there's a lot of creativity, and I think it's important to put creativity into this process, in this journey, especially when there's things that we really want to, there's goals we want to reach. Now, what would you say to leaders who maybe they're putting in the work? There's leaders that are really, they're doing their part, but they're just not seeing the results. How would you inspire them? How would you encourage them today?
Well, let's talk about if you're doing the work, if you're going 100 miles an hour towards Atlanta, but we don't have that clear vision, we could miss our goal by 100 miles. Right? So sometimes there's a difference between busyness and productivity. There's a difference between activity and productivity. For us to have true productivity, that's what I talk about all in step 3. So that's what I want to tell you right now. If you want to increase the likelihood of getting your goals by 1,000%, that's not me making up a number, study done, it's public.
Wow.
1,000% more likely to get your goals. Say in chat right now, say yes if you want to hear that. And if I see at least 20 yeses, I'll give it. If not, I'll just hold that piece of information. But I'll tell you what that link is. Okay, I'm seeing 3, 4, 5. Come on, 6, 7. I'm waiting. Do you want to know what makes you 1,000% more likely to achieve your goal? Not just be busy, not just spin your wheels, not just be stuck, not just be on the hamster wheel of life. Okay, once you have that clear, specific, written goal internalized with a clear vision, people who have a written goal and a plan to reach that goal are 1,000% more likely. So here's what a lot of people do, Virgil. We do the goal setting. We write the goals down, right? We got our 3%. I wrote my goals. Yeah, we're not done just yet. We got to get that vision board to go with it. We have to internalize the goals. We got to get that vision board in front of us. And then we have to write a plan. And here's what I want you to do in plan writing. I have a whole chapter on it, but let me give you this much of it. I want you to write at least 20. Okay, I lied. I want you to write 25. You need to write at least 20 things that you need to do to get to that goal. So let me ask you a question, Virgil. Do you want to lose any weight?
I do.
Oh yeah, me too. So since we want to lose weight, I would say let's not put X number of pounds. If we went all the way back to the goal setting part in step 1, I would encourage you would understand why after 2 chapters of preparation, 1 chapter on goal setting, you would understand why we want to say, I weigh my perfect weight of. I ain't telling you what that number is. Let's
write it in the chat, everybody. I'm just kidding.
Let's pretend it's 100 pounds because it's a nice round number and I haven't weighed that since 1st grade. So I weigh my perfect weight of 100 pounds. So I have to look at the weight I weigh today, right? The weight you weigh today and the weight I want to weigh. Now that delta tells us how much we have to lose. So now that we've looked at that delta, now we need a plan to get to that delta. Well, the first part of that plan is we've got to have a deadline, Virgil. Because how do we even start doing the math? How do we know how many calories to cut? How do we know how long to make the workout? Because we've got to have ourselves a deadline. So the first part of planning, you got to have yourself a deadline, right? As you're making that list, so I actually taught 6 steps of making lists. Number 1, or of planning. Number 1, pray. Number 2, make a list. Number 3, organize your list in priority or sequential order. Number 4, set a deadline. Number 5, calendar it. And number 6, track your progress. Because step 3 in the book, I call it get going, but it's getting an action plan. Really, it's getting a map, right? If goal is our destination, we're starting where we are. We need a map to get there. Map is M, measurement, A, assessment, P, planning. So step number 6 is actually rolling back into that measurement and assessment portion, which actually allows you to do the rewards part in step 5 so that you keep that gas on the fire to keep going towards it. Can you say those again? Tiffany said, prayer. And I've got so much. That's why you need the book. Honestly, the productivity bundle is great because it's got a masterclass. Masterclass is 7 sessions so that I can slow down and give you a little bit of all this. And I did something extra special. I took about 6 months with a group of 5 people, and we developed a planner for 2021. It's a digital planner. You can download it as soon as you get the productivity bundle. You can screenshot it into your photos, or I put it in Notability. And it's monthly and weekly. It has scriptures, it has quotes, it has writing prompts. It takes you along this goals journey, and it keeps you motivated. I cheer you and tell you can do it. And I coach you and say, get your tail back up off the bench. You ain't done yet. You can do this. So planning, 6 steps are pray, make a list, check it twice. Go ahead, organize the list sequentially and by priority, set a deadline, get it calendared. And number 6 is go back, measure, and assess, track your plan. I did a whole session just on that. It's going to be a bonus part that's not even part of the masterclass. It's just bonus material. Just did a 30-minute teaching on just those 6 steps. But in those 6 steps, if we're going to lose the weight, I weigh my perfect weight of, we know the delta, we set a deadline. So now we know, okay, I need to lose 10 pounds and I want to lose it by March 1st. So I got 8 weeks to lose 10 pounds. So in your assessment, in your questions, in your list, how much weight do I need to lose? How long do I need to lose it? Okay, how many calories do I need to burn in a day? How do I find out how many calories are in a pound? Are there any apps that can help me with that? Am I going to do some kind of fitness? Is it going to be at a gym? Is there going to be a class? Can I work out at home? What happens when I go on the road? Is there anything on YouTube? How do I track my calories? How do I find out what calories are in food? How do I meal prep? We start making a list of all these things we need to do. And then as we organize that list by sequence, which is, well, I can't so food is a little bit different, but I can't go ahead and figure out how I'm going to reward myself for losing 10 pounds till I figure out how. So the reward's going to come a little later in that list. By priority, what's most important? So as we organize that list in priority and sequential order, one of the things about making a list and planning is we realize, okay, losing 10 pounds, losing 50 pounds, that sounds ominous. But then we start saying, really, all I have to do is burn 250 calories a day. And as we start looking at the food that we eat, we realize I have a mocha latte every morning that's 275 calories. I don't even have to work out. I give up my mocha latte. I hit my goal in 8 weeks. Yes, right? Or maybe you take 1 mocha latte a week because that's your reward. So what happens is we break it down. Henry Ford says, anything can be accomplished if you break it down into small enough steps. We break it down into small enough steps that the brain starts to say, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. Oh, and we start to realize it's not Mount Everest. It's more of a molehill, one molehill after another.
That's so good. I think this is great for everybody who might have connected recently in the last couple of minutes. We're talking about goal getters, Pastor Nicole Crank's new book. We're going to get into some of the offers that we have for you today. But I want to mention, Pastor Nicole, one of the cool things is, we've been mentioning a few different styles, but some of you might have spiritual goals, right? We've been talking about physical goals. You might have family goals. You might have intellectual goals or personal growth goals, right? There's so many areas. And I think one of the beautiful things about this book is that Pastor Nicole does a great job of breaking it down in a way where you're not overwhelmed. It's not going to all just happen right away. You can take it step by step, chapter by chapter. And these 5 steps are really going to encourage you in your growth. Before we get into kind of the offer that we have for everybody today, Pastor Nicole, one last thing I want to mention here regarding, you said the word a little earlier, but once you have a plan, how do you maintain it and stay on track? Because it's good. Sometimes it's easy at the beginning to be excited and to be motivated, but how do you maintain it? What's that word you said a little while ago?
It's almost a dirty word, so I hate to use it. Is it okay if I kind of cuss on here? I don't know. The word is commitment, but that sneaks out the corner of my mouth. But think of it this way: the immense value of simply not quitting. Every day we have 2 options: give up or get up. So I had a bunch of people from church over to my house Saturday night. We had a bunch of little kids over, little toddlers learning how to walk, and little James just turned a year old and just started walking like 4 days ago. And now he's like walking everywhere. But I mean, I say walking, but he's like taking 4 steps and falling, and then taking 5 steps and falling, and we get him up again, and we get him up again, and we get him up again. And I ended up telling his mom, I said, you know why kids are so short? Because they don't have that far to fall, right? They don't get hurt when they fall 27 times. And then I looked at little James, even at a year old, and said, get up one more time, buddy, because failure is staying down. As long as you get up one more time, then you fall down. So this is an important note. I want you to, guys, if somebody could put this in the chat for us, but if you would write this down. Forward progress is impossible without failure.
That's good.
You got to fail. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is a part of it. As long as you get up one more time, then you fall down. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to eat the holiday cookies. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to eat the fried food. If you're trying to lose weight, your mama's going to make your favorite cake within the first 5 days. You're going to mess it up. As long as you get up one more time, then you fall down. If you're trying to get out of debt, something's going to break down. You're going to have to spend some money. If you're trying to get out of debt, you're going to have to replace the tires on your car. As long as you get up and say, okay, I had to spend that money, but I'm getting back on track. It's like a drip, Virgil. This one time we had a toilet that was dripping. So like once a week when I cleaned, I'd just make sure I'd wipe back there because there'd be like drip, drip, drip. No big deal. And we went on vacation for 2 weeks.
Uh-oh.
The toilet was on the 2nd floor, right above our master bedroom closet.
I think I know where this is going.
When we came home 2 weeks later, the ceiling in our master bedroom closet had collapsed.
Wow.
And our entire closet was soaked with toilet water because the drip accumulated. What is that drip? That drip is consistency. Either we consistently give up or we consistently get up. And eventually that drip adds up. All we just need to do is we need to add up in our positive column. It's a drip. It's a drip of effort over. That's what the whole book is. That's why the book is simple. It's just a drip. It's just a drip. It's just a drip. Yeah. But it's all in the positive column.
So good. Hey, I want to take a moment right now to let everybody know, Goal Getters, 5 steps to finally getting what you want. We're about to turn the corner of a new year. What better time than today to get connected with Goal Getters by Pastor Nicole Crank? Let me just share a little bit of the offers. We have some amazing offers today. I'm talking about capital A, amazing. First of all, some of you today, you can get this book for free. And here's the way you can get it. You can get this book for free by going to the link that our team is putting in the chat right now. And the way you can do it is, if you have not yet signed up for our annual Avail Journal trial subscription, you can do that today. So to get this book for free, all you got to do is sign up for our annual Avail Journal free subscription. So you're going to be getting the annual Avail Journal, which is it comes out quarterly for them for free, and you're going to get this book for free. That's an amazing offer for you today. If you already have the Avail Journal subscription, the annual trial subscription, then you're going to get a discounted price. But go to that link. You got to go to the link right now. It's in the chat. If you want to get that book today, I want you to write in the chat, I want the book. Okay. You can go today. I believe our team is also putting it on Facebook for those of you who are on Facebook. Now, here's the next thing I want to say. I personally suggest, because I've already got a sneak peek to everything, to not go for just the book. I suggest to go upgrade to the productivity bundle. Pastor Nicole, you were just talking about the productivity bundle, which includes the hardcover book. It includes the study guide, the companion study guide, and it also includes masterclass videos that you will have access to, which, by the way, came out really, really good, Pastor Nicole. Those videos are like an extra touch in addition and complementary to the book. And in those masterclass videos, there's also some extra videos, which are bonuses. Maybe you can tell us, Nicole, about those in a second. And there's extra resources that Nicole has thrown in there. Again, that's the productivity bundle. So I would recommend, don't just get the book. If you're going to go for the combo of getting the free annual trial subscription to the Avail Journal with your free book, hey, it's a no-brainer. Just upgrade to the productivity bundle. And if you already have that and you say, I want to get the book at a discounted price, or I want to just upgrade to the productivity bundle, go ahead and do it, because you're going to have the book, you're going to have the study guide, you're going to have the masterclass videos, which are awesome, all the bonus. Pastor Nicole, can you talk to us a little bit about some of the bonus features that are added in the productivity bundle?
Absolutely. So I have a 30-minute teaching on the immense value of simply not quitting, because I know that's where you're going to get stuck. You're going to want to quit after a while. You get bored. What you build, you must maintain, right? So we have to maintain this focus to get our goals for 12 months. You can do this for 12 months, 365 days. You've got this. And then I have the digital planner that we put in there. It is a monthly planner. It is a weekly planner. It has place to do all your normal stuff, but then it gives you writing prompts. It keeps you focused on your goals. It gives you scriptures. It gives you quotes. So we keep you focused all year long. And then I have another teaching based on planning, 30 minutes just on the six steps to plan for your goals. So I have some bonus teachings in there, Virgil. And can I give you 3 reasons why you want to get this?
Yes, do it.
So I pre-released this information in January of 2019 to our church. So I'm about to tell you 2 stories from people in our church. One of them, I taught this at the Global Latino Leadership Summit. And so it was virtual, COVID was happening, invited a few people from our church, just put out an invitation. If you want to come watch me teach this conference, you can sit in the room. She came. And at the end, we turned off the cameras. I just said, does anybody here have a testimony about goal setting and walking through the program? She raised her hand, single mom, got on the microphone. We have it on record. She said, for 12 years, I've lived in an apartment with my son. All I've ever wanted was a house. This is in May of 2020. She said, in January of 2019, you helped me write my 10 goals. You showed me how to achieve them. She said, I want to let you know, I didn't have a job change. I didn't get an inheritance, but for 12 years, I've wanted to live in a house. And today, just 18 months later, I live in a house as a single mom with my son. Not only that, goal number 9, she'd achieved. She was on goal number 9 of 10. So she'd achieved all these. She was working on goal number 9. Goal number 9 is she was $37,000 in debt. Within 18 months, she had paid her debt down to $4,000, even doing what she needed to do to buy the house. And she said, and goal number 10 is a physical goal. And she said, girl, once I pay off that debt and I do this, I'm not going to be single anymore. And that's a single mom, Virgil.
Yeah.
So here's a business couple. So there's this business couple. When we pre-released it in January of 2019, had dinner with them in August of 2020. And they said our goal was to buy some office space. We're going to move our business out of the house, get some office space. We didn't want to lease it. We wanted to buy it. We found this space in a strip mall. The problem was our credit was so bad. We didn't think we could get it. We were praying. We were believing it was a goal. And we got the office space that we were believing for. Now that sounds awesome enough, right? You get something that in the natural looks impossible. But another one of their 10 goals was they wanted to be completely out of debt. So here they are. They're like, okay, but I'm working against this goal, but we got the office space, but now we got to get it out of debt. So they're working really hard. They're trying to make the business go. When the owner of the whole strip mall comes to them and says, I'm moving out of state. I'm selling my commercial properties. So I'm selling the rest of the strip mall. Good luck with the new owner. And they're like, wait, who are you selling it to? He's like, well, I haven't put it on the market yet. I'd love to sell it to you guys. But, I heard you were having financial issues. They're like, no, give us a minute. Let us figure it out. They couldn't even get the loan for this. And now they're trying to buy this. So they go, God works it out. They developed their goals. They wrote the plan. It works it out. They bought the entire strip mall. Wow. All of this since January 2019. Here we are, August 2020. We're sitting at dinner with them, and they said one of our 10 goals was to be completely out of debt. We want to let you know we sit here today owning the entire strip mall, millions of dollars. We are completely out of debt. These are people in church, right? So what are 3 reasons you get this? 1, if it can happen for a single mom, it can happen for you. Mm-hmm. Number 2, if the dream is so crazy of you can't even get a loan, but you can be out of debt and own millions of dollars in properties in 18 months, if it happened for them, it can happen for you. Mm-hmm. The 3rd reason to get this is because there is no time like the present. Mm-hmm. So here's one reason people do think, I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to do it. Procrastination is one of the biggest reasons we never attain. So, all you do is you sign up for the Avail Leadership Program and boom, you're moving towards this for free. But if you get the productivity bundle, mm-hmm. Here's the thing, they work those productivity bundles and these are the kinds of results we're seeing.
So good. Hey, I want to just give a reminder to everybody who's connected right now. We're talking about Goal Getters. It's the book, Pastor Nicole Crank. It's a book that's going to help you in this new year, upcoming 2021. Maybe you've tried it before, trying to set goals. We're going to go beyond setting goals. We're going to go to getting goals, right? Goal Getters. The amazing offer for those of you who are not yet signed up to the Avail annual trial subscription to the journal. All you got to do is do that. It's free. And you get this book for free today, right now. If you're already on the Avail Journal annual subscription, you can just get this at a discounted price. But here's the best offer, the best deal, pretty much a no-brainer because of the value there is in it. If you upgrade to the productivity bundle, you get the book, you get the companion study guide that goes along with the book, you get the masterclass videos where Pastor Nicole kind of breaks down extra info that's going to be complementary to everything that's in the book. Plus you have bonus resources, bonus forms, all kinds of guides. It's going to help you step by step. I love how Pastor Nicole, I love how you say you're a coach, but you're also a cheerleader along the way. I think that's something that brings a lot of value. So right now you're seeing that link in the chat. You can go to theartofleadership.com/goals if you want to go directly there, but you have the link there in the chat. One thing that I just want to ask you, Pastor Nicole, as we're getting to the final stretch here, why are you so passionate about this? What is it? Because I just sense a lot of passion when you're talking about this. And I think that passion really comes off and is really powerful. But I think there are a lot of people who need it. Why are you so passionate about this?
Where you start is not where you finish. And let me tell you about why I am very passionate about that statement. Because I was born in Canada, adopted in the US when I was 3 years old by my stepdad. Thank goodness I got saved on my mom's living room floor in 4th grade, because in 4th grade was the year I was molested. 5th grade was the first year I told anybody about it. And it was one of my little friends. And the first thing she did was tell everybody else in our little 1-horse town. We were a single income family. My dad worked at a factory. It was the 80s. He got laid off at the factory. We literally ate out of our garden. I lived in a little gravel road. And our brand new car, when our other car broke down, was one of those station wagons with the wood grain down the side. Except for one entire side had been sideswiped. And that's how we were able to afford the car. And that was the biggest stretch for our family. If you wanted a second piece of meat at dinner, you had to eat more of everything else first, because we could grow all that on our own land. So when she told everybody, I didn't know what bullying was. There was no term for it back in the day, but I lived through it for 3 years. Being made fun of. I called the bus the gauntlet to the guillotine, because there was no place for me to sit. Because nobody wanted to be seen with that girl. Did you hear what happened to her? Nasty, and all of the things. In 8th grade, somebody who was doing community service at our junior high heard what happened to me, thought I would be an easy target, and I was raped in 8th grade. I moved cities, I moved counties, I moved school districts, and I got a new chance on life in high school. And so, Virgil, in high school, if anybody invited me to a party, I said yes. If they said, we're going to be drinking, I said yes. If they said, we're going to be kissing, I said yes. And they said, I want to kiss you, I said yeah. I just said yes because I just wanted to get invited. And I ended up a pregnant, unwed mother at 17 years old. Life failed me to that point, but at that point, I failed myself. So I didn't think anybody would want me, and I had all this baggage. And some guy who was a bodybuilder with high cheekbones, good looking, with the right medical initials after his last name, wanted me. I could not believe it. The shifts at the hospital caught up with him. He ended up getting addicted to prescription drugs, which turned into cocaine, which turned into crack cocaine, which made him extremely abusive. We had restraining orders. I had a herniated C7. I had a broken rib. My son had the drama. We had everything in our house sold. I got foreclosed on. I became bankrupt, and I ended up living on the run, trying to stay alive from him. It's not where you start. It's where you finish. So I know what the bottom looks like. And you might be thinking that you're at the bottom today. I know what the bottom looks like. I've been there with you, but I believe everybody's supposed to have a hand up so that you can go to the next level. And that's what I believe Goal Getters is. And you're supposed to have a hand down to that person who's not come as far as you. And that's what I hope I'm doing right now, is saying, hey, I've been where you are, but you don't have to stay there. So the power of God changing my life, connecting me to the right people, nothing that I deserve, but everything by his grace and favor, and not staying down when I fell down. And now, Virgil, I don't deserve any of it, but I'm getting ready to release my 4th book next year. I have an international television show that all of the networks are carrying around the world. I mean, we're on 6 of the 7. The only continent we're not on is Antarctica. I help pastor an amazing church with campuses in Florida and St. Louis. I've been married for 23 years to a man who treats me so much better than I deserve to be treated. Trust me, I know what I do. I work with my kids. We all live together. We're happy. And if somebody's stuck down there, there's no way I want them to stay down there. I want to show them the path out.
So good. That, I think this has been very encouraging. Thank you for sharing that, Pastor Nicole. I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people are blessed and encouraged when there's vulnerability, when there's openness. And by the way, I think that's what pours out into this book. So if you're on here right now and you have not yet subscribe to the annual trial subscription to the Avail Journal. I don't know if you recognize the cover here on this one, but the Avail Journal comes out quarterly. So listen, if you've never subscribed, you can subscribe to this journal, the annual trial subscription, for free, and get this book for free right now today by going to the link there. If you're already subscribed to the Avail Journal, you know how awesome it is. You can get the book at a discounted price, but here's the best deal, is get the productivity bundle. Upgrade to the productivity bundle, where you're going to get the book, you're going to get the study guide, you're going to get the masterclass videos, you're going to get the bonus materials, you're going to get into a sneak peek into Pastor Nicole's brain and her heart regarding goal getters. Hey, 2021 is around the corner. It's less than a month away. There's some goals that we got to get. Yeah, we got to set them, but we got to go get them. So I'm encouraging everybody to do that. Hey, Pastor Nicole, as we round things up here, you were on one of the covers of the recent Avail Leadership Journals. This is a leadership journal. Would you recommend this to people? Because I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of the Avail Leadership Journal.
Well, and a lot of my favorite people are in there. I mean, I've known Dr. Sam Chan for over a decade, and I can preach some of his leadership teachings because I've listened, I've taken notes, and I can talk to you about a round trip ticket, and I can talk to you about something he's spoken to us was, what does Pastor Phil say? That's my Chan document. Mike and Lisa are phenomenal leaders. Dr. John and Charity, the Unhindered book, and there's a feature on there. They're the best at what they do. So what I love about the Avail Leadership Journal is that they have really handpicked top leaders into people to help give them, there's that hand up and hand down, right? None of us is the complete circle by ourselves. That's why I have a thing called a circle of friends. None of us is everything, but together, we fill in each other's gaps.
I love it. 100%. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the free annual trial subscription to the Avail Journal. You're going to love it. And by the way, you can get this book for free today. If you haven't done so, you do that today. You get this for free. It's a combo, a free combo. If you already have this, you can get the book, or I suggest, no brainer, the best deal of all, go for the productivity bundle, which has the book, the companion study guide, the masterclass videos, the bonus material, a little extra of Pastor Nicole's heart and her passion for goal getters. Man, this has been so good. I'm so thankful for everybody who's been connected, both on the Zoom, also on our live Facebook. So many people connected from different parts of the States and the world. Pastor Nicole, what are some final thoughts that you want to leave us with today? I think you've done a great job of injecting us with encouragement and high expectations. We can do this. We can get this done. What are some final thoughts that you want to give to everybody who's connected?
I want you to get out a pen and I want you to write down the statement, because this might be the most important statement that I have said all day. Are you ready? It's easier than you think. It really is. It sounds like, buying a whole strip mall and being debt free in a year, buying a house as a single mom after you've been trying for 12 years, getting $37,000 out of debt in 18 months. How is it possible? It's easier than you think. Why? Because we're not trying to eat the whole elephant. How do you eat the whole elephant? One bite at a time. We're not giving you a recipe and throwing you to the wolves. We're giving you every ingredient, giving you every step. And that's why the productivity bundle, Virgil, I really love that, because it helps further explain. Like, this book could have been 500 pages thick, right? It would have been too technical. It would have been too much. One of the things I didn't put in the book was the endowment effect by Cornell University, which I absolutely love. Why do you need to internalize your goals? Because of the endowment effect, which I won't tell you the whole study, but here's what it says is, once you decide that this is yours, you won't trade it for anything. And so I walk you through the exercise to make these goals truly yours, and you're not going to trade it for anything. And you're going to be so surprised. You're going to DM me on Instagram and you're going to say, you're not going to believe what happened to me. And I'm going to party with you. We're going to reward together, because you're going to be able to do it. It's easier than you think. You just have to break your specific written goal into small steps and take one at a time.
I love it, man. We have been encouraged today. I really encourage everybody, if you have not yet clicked on that link, click on it. If you haven't gotten the Avail subscription for an annual trial subscription for free, connected with this book for free, you can do that right now by going to the link. If you already have the Avail Journal subscription, you can get the book at a discounted price, but I highly encourage going for the productivity bundle. Gives you the book, the study guide, the masterclass videos, all the bonus material. I think you're going to have some testimonies and some stories to share as 2021 develops, as you start getting those goals that you begin to set. Hey, Pastor Nicole, can I just say, we, on behalf of Avail Leadership, we're so thankful for you, for your husband, for your church, for your leadership. We honor you. We thank you for kind of plastering your heart in a book like this that has not only helped you, but is going to help so many people along their journeys. We're really proud of you.
Well, I want to say thank you, Virgil. First of all, you do such a great job. You guys think Virgil does a great job? If you do, just say yes. It's hard to sit and listen to, because I know smart guys like him, he's having thoughts right now, but to really be able to work that angle to draw things out of other people is a gifting and a talent, and you do a great job at that. And I wanted to say thanks to the Avail Leadership Group for letting a girl like me, who lived a third of her life on a gravel road, but God found a way to do something with somebody like me. And if he can use somebody like me, he can use somebody like you. But thanks for seeing the possibility and the potential in a girl like me.
Yes, ma'am. It's a blessing. And on behalf of the Avail team, we can't wait for more people to get goal getters. Everybody, thank you for connecting with us today. The link is in the chat. You can also go to theartofleadership.com/goals. 2021 is around the corner. It's time to get some goals. Thank you, Pastor Nicole. Thank you to your team. Everybody on the Avail team, thank you for everything you do every day, every week, every month. And for all of you who like connecting with us, we'll be here next month with another Avail live webinar, another author, and some more great leadership resources. We love you. Take care, and let's go get some goals. God bless you. Thank you for joining us to talk with Nicole Crank about her new book, Goal Getters. For all the special offers on Nicole's book, as well as the Goal Getters Productivity Bundle, go to theartofleadership.com/goals. Also, if you haven't done so yet, you can get a free annual subscription to the Avail Journal by going to availjournal.com. We hope this conversation encouraged and motivated you to go out and be a goal getter. As always, thank you for connecting with us to learn the art of leadership here at the Avail Leadership Podcast.